Up next on the forum, the trauma of child sexual abuse and how one form of communication is helping some victims speak up. Applying for public benefits online has just become a whole lot easier, and a free arts program for children and teens to keep them busy and happy all summer long. Human Services Forum is coming right up. Hi, I'm Jan Callahan. Welcome to the forum. It can be very difficult to talk about sexual abuse, and even more difficult to acknowledge that sexual abuse of children happens every day. And what about the child? Forensic interviewers such as Michelle Thames with CHKD's Child Abuse Program has talked to many child victims regarding their experiences, and she joins us now with a special companion who helps her with her work. Welcome, Michelle, to the show. I think that the whole issue of child sexual abuse is so difficult, and clearly having a companion here is making it a little easier for us to talk.
That's right.
It's got to be helpful in terms of the child. So who is your companion here?
This is Pecos. He is the facility dog. He works at the Child Abuse Program with me.
He looks very excited to be here. Thank you. And Pecos is a very mellow dog, and he does serve a purpose, and this works into the work you do with children. So as a forensic interviewer, your job is to do what?
As a forensic interviewer, I do interviews on behalf of law enforcement, social services, when a child abuse report is made. So I talk to the child when they've made an outcry of abuse or someone may have witnessed abuse on behalf of law enforcement and social services.
Okay, and clearly a difficult and delicate job, that, you know, an act that you have to perform, and Pecos certainly serves a very important function in this process. Is that correct?
For a lot of kids, he does. It's a potentially scary time for children and for families, and so they are nervous about coming and talking about what happened. And so when they come and they see Pecos, it's a different environment. He just changes. He just changes the whole energy for families.
Yeah, I can see you could probably calm people down quite a bit, because
Yes.
he is very, very mellow, and is trained to be.
Yes, yes.
So Pecos, he says, I hear my name. Does he help you throughout the interview, or is this something that just helps to set things up?
It really depends. Not everyone is a dog lover, and so I have to be very careful to determine which children would benefit from Pecos.
Okay.
I always talk with families before the interview, and at that point I'll ask if they think their child would be interested in working with Pecos during the interview, and then I ask the children separately. We actually show them a picture of him, because some children are afraid of dogs, and just the presence of a dog is scary to them. So I'll just show a picture, and if they're okay with it, then we go back and meet Pecos. When he's in the interview with children, this is exactly what he does. He lays there and sleeps while they talk. He doesn't really engage or distract children, which is really helpful, because when I'm talking with kids, I'm getting all of the elements of a crime. So I need their full attention, but at the same time they're children. So you want to make it a calm environment for them.
Okay. So Pecos serves as an icebreaker for a lot of these kids.
A lot of kids love animals. It doesn't matter what kind of animal. And so he is really a good topic for us to talk about. They want to know all about him, what he likes to eat, how old he is, where he lives, and then they like to tell me about their animals too.
Okay, great. So that kind of can ease you into
Absolutely.
establishing some rapport.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Starting with questions is not always a good thing. So them starting the conversation is great. Right. There might be children too that don't really say a whole lot about the dog. Is there much interaction with the kids during an interview? It's
been really interesting. I had visions of children just holding on to him and spilling their story to me. But a lot of kids are they're very just astute when they talk about what happened, and I've noticed that sometimes they'll reach over to pet him. As far as him, I've noticed that when children cry, that tends to do something to him, and he'll move a little bit closer to them. And that's happened to me a couple times.
Do you have a memorable moment when that has happened?
Not so much not a sad one, but I have kind of a neat one. I was talking with a young child, and the way that he was sitting, he was just kind of sitting there and just, you know, he was talking to me, but he was moving around, and he seemed to get a little bored, but he was still talking, and so he just kind of flopped down, and so he was laying there, and as he was talking, Pecos just inched his way over to him, and by the time the interview was done, Pecos's head was in the crook of his neck, and he was just talking away about all of these things that had happened to him.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Well, that's just pretty amazing. So he goes through pretty extensive training in order to get to this point.
I cannot take any credit for how well trained he is. He was trained by puppy raisers for about 1.5 years of his life, and then professional dog trainers at Canine Companions for Independence. They train the dogs for 6 to 9 months. And at that point, they determine what kind of work the dog will do. And so Pecos made it through that training, and then I had to apply to get a dog like Pecos, and I actually had to be trained in New York for 2 weeks.
Okay, so you had to be trained as well.
Yes.
Both of you did, yes. Well, Pecos is, he's wonderful just to have here, so I can imagine if a child is really likes animals, this must be just a huge comfort.
It has been, there's been a lot of things that were kind of unexpected. He does the forensic interviews with me, but he also goes into the non-acute medical exams. For some children, that can be anxiety provoking as well. So he goes into those. He has a therapy caseload. So when kids come to see me and then they're referred for therapy services, the kids are able to see him on a weekly basis, which is kind of neat. And he attends a lot of meetings. And so when you've got law enforcement or social services, prosecutors, doctors, nurses, people in administrative positions that are just stressed out about the type of work that we do, getting to hang out with a dog for a few minutes it's a really good break in the day.
Right. Well, I know that he's quiet now, but he does have a way of letting you know he's around during an interview, because things can be quite intense, but his job is not to get things stirred up, so he often will just drift off.
He usually sleeps during the interviews, and he snores as well, which is kind of funny. I was very worried about it in the beginning because all of the forensic interviews are video recorded.
Okay.
So you know, I could potentially 2 years later I can have to explain what I did, but for the most part, kids laugh about it. I think that children think, and I feel this way too, if you're in a place where a dog is comfortable enough to fall asleep and be in such a deep sleep that he's snoring, it might be an okay place for me to be too. So
well, and it is an unexpected thing, and it's one of those things that really tells you that that being is very relaxed.
Exactly.
Yes, and that does tend to relax everybody in the room.
It does.
So I think everybody could use a Pecos in a certain sense, but what a wonderful opportunity to be able to talk to kids and get them to share what's so important, since it's such a traumatic situation that they're facing.
It can be very tough. It can be very tough for some children.
Yeah. Well, this makes it good for you too. This must make your job when you are using Pecos.
I'm very much a believer in the bond between humans and animals. I have always had animals in my life. When I first started working in child advocacy in a child advocacy center, I had a crazy puppy that had no training whatsoever, and my boss let me bring my dog to work, and that's when I saw what dogs can do with kids. And so that was 10 years ago, and so I've just kind of moved forward and learned a lot, and now I have this really great trained dog that I know how he'll react around children, so I feel very comfortable when I'm with him.
Yeah. Well, no, it feels great to have him around. I think most of the people here have responded to him well, and he doesn't really care right now, does he?
No, he was actually snoring just a few seconds ago.
Oh,
I could feel him, yeah.
Boy, you really know what to listen for. So, well, I think it's wonderful that there's this opportunity. We know that again, it's difficult to talk about things like this, even publicly, to address it. But, you know, behind the doors, when you're trying to get the information you need, that's so important for the future of a child, to have a wonderful animal like this that can help smooth the way. It was really, really nice.
I agree.
Well, thank you for bringing Pecos on board. And
Sure.
Pecos, thank you for being here. You're welcome, Jan. So, thank you. Well, when we come back, we're going to have the latest on applying for public benefits online and a new facility that you can use if you don't own your own computer. So don't go away.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
In the fall of 2012, the Department of Social Services launched Common Help, which gives citizens the option of applying online for the most common public assistance programs. And now Norfolk Human Services has opened a Common Help computer lab, which is located at the Workforce Development Center near Ward's Corner. Siobhan Lowry helps folks navigate the program, and she joins us along with Eligibility Supervisor Dana Dozier, and both of them can fill us in on what Common Help is and where you can go for help and how it helps people who may be unable to take advantage of this online portal, you know, at home. So welcome to the show.
Thanks.
And we were talking just before we came on about how the strides that have been made technologically in social services in that arena have been huge. And last fall is when they publicly unveiled this new portal, as they call it, called Common Help. Dana, the idea behind Common Help is to speed things up, clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It allows our customers to apply for benefits online.
Mm-hmm.
They can do it at home. They can do it at the public libraries using the computers there, or they can come to our Common Help lab. It's very basic steps, and it's sort of like if you bank online, where you would set up a password and use the logon, and you just follow through each step and each question through the pages, and you select which program you're applying for.
Okay.
You can apply for SNAP benefits, Medicaid, TANF, and child care.
Okay. So those 4 programs are pretty common programs.
Right.
They're the ones that the majority of folks might apply for. What about Medicaid? Is that also
That's
available?
definitely one of them. We also have energy assistant program that they can apply for while it's in season.
Okay, so energy assistance, good thing to know, since cooling assistance applications will be accepted beginning the 15th online, is my understanding, and the 17th if you're going to come in and fill out an application. So you still have an option, but this allows people to actually start applying sooner. And I did receive an inquiry from somebody yesterday about that very thing. And so my understanding is that, you know, Saturdays don't mean anything to the computer program because, you know, it's just another day, it's another person applying. So that opens up a lot of possibilities for people who may not be able to do things Monday through Friday. But if they do have time during the day on Monday through Friday, they can come over to the Workforce Development Center, and there is a room within the center that people can go to. Now, you oversee basically what goes on in that room. So
Yes.
what does the room consist of?
Well, we're outfitted with 23 computers that they can
23?
come in. They would come in and sign in, let us know what program they'd like to apply for.
Uh-huh.
We assist them if they need help with applying. Sometimes customers have questions that maybe they don't understand something in the application, so we can help clarify some of the questions that they may have regarding what they're applying for.
Okay.
What I like about it is that it puts their information at their own hands. So for our customers, they can have more control over some part of the process of applying for assistance. So it's a self-help.
Great. So
So-
they're learning not only, well, they're allowed to put in things themselves, which is empowering, but also
Yes.
maybe learning a little bit more if they're not as comfortable in front of computers and are learning and trying to get more comfortable with that process. And
Right.
They walk away from it going, wow,
Right.
I learned something different.
And not only can they apply for programs, they can also report changes through the
Okay.
system.
So
They can
changes, when you
also-
say report changes, do you mean what?
For example, if they have a change of income, if they have a change in members of their household, let's say their telephone number or address has changed, they can sign into the system. Once they have an account, they can link their case, sign into the system anytime, anywhere, as long as they have internet, and report those changes so that we can be updated with all the information that we have on file.
Great. There's, well, the application process is available there. So you just fill it out online and then submit it? Is that the way it works?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And one good thing about submitting an application online is that they'll be assigned a tracking number. That tracking number is like a receipt to verify that the application did go into our system, so there's no question as to when we got it, whether we got it or not. If they like, they can go to a public library, or if they have access to a printer, they can also print out the application as well.
Okay, great. So they have something they can take with them.
Yes.
A lot of people are still comfortable with having that piece of paper. And the idea of being able to go in and check on the status, say, of your application
Yes.
is nice because they can do that themselves. They don't have to
Yes.
call somebody or go in someplace and say, ask someone. They can get their answer pretty much immediately once they go in.
Yes. And also, if for some reason they need to contact their worker, and if they don't have their worker's information, they can sign in online and get the contact information for their worker as well,
Really?
and keep abreast of when they need to do renewals.
And that was my next question,
Yes.
was renewals, because things like Medicaid, for instance, would have to go through a renewal process. Is that true for the other programs too?
Yes, for SNAP and TANF, they also have renewals that are due each year or every 6 months, depending on the certification period. So once they do the renewal online through Common Health, the worker finishes the final process of the renewal process and sends them a notification in the mail.
How does this help the worker? Does it make the work a little... I know the learning curve, you've got to train people
Right.
to learn this, learn how to do this, because it changes the way they do their work.
It does.
Well, it's something new to the workers right now, so actually it speeds up the process as far as renewals and intake applications. But you still, you kind of lose that one-on-one contact with the customer a little bit. However, they do have some contact with the customer if they need to contact their worker. That's still, telephone contact or walk-in contact. But I think it's a very good program. It, like Siobhan said, it gives the customers, it puts it in their hands, and gives, helps them with self-sufficiency and, being responsible, and also with learning the new techniques of using the computer, which a lot of them are not used to.
Yeah.
So I think that's good too.
Yeah, that's great. So everybody wins, and of course there's still the choice of coming in and filling out an application or downloading one and
Right.
filling it out and bringing it in or mailing it in or faxing it in. You can still call, the number for information. All those things are still there. This is an option, but I think as the future, as we move forward, it's going to be more and more of the thing that people choose. So thanks for sharing your insight, because we know you're there and you see it happening. So, all right, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, still to come, free summer arts programs for the kids. We'll have details on 2 fantastic programs when we return.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Imagine your child spending summer break immersed in music, painting, dancing, or drama. Monday through Friday, no cost to you. Gail Easley, Executive Director of the Crispus Attucks Cultural Center, has a lot to share about Camp Rise and the summer arts program that will keep tweens and teens in your life occupied and you breathing easier. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity for kids and a great opportunity for parents to see their children thrive in a positive environment throughout the summer.
Absolutely.
Yay. That's
yes.
Great.
Yes, we're in our 6th year for Camp Rise.
Wow.
And this is a summer day camp for preteens that turns them on to dance. And it also gives them the opportunity to respect dance as a physical activity, just as a sport that requires skills. Students will also enjoy leadership activities as well as social activities as well.
Great. This is going on through beginning when?
This will start June 24th through July the 12th, and 9 to 4. We offer all the dance wear for free, 3 classes a day, ballet, modern, West African, as well as creative writing and personal development classes. And the personal development is really the fun part because this gives them a chance to talk about what's going on in their community, in their lives, and then we correlate the world and the community with them and figure out a place for them in all of that.
Oh, wonderful. And then we've got some pictures up here just showing you some of the different programs Camp Rise has. One is videography, video production. We've got a child at a computer. I'm sorry, you can't see that too well.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
We've
like
got
dance.
a technology center.
Yes, we have some children being coached in dancing, and then the African dance. Absolutely beautiful pictures too. And this is just Camp Rise. So this is one group, and you said this is preteens.
Correct. Yeah, the building is for 80 preteens, ages 11 to 14.
Okay, and then there's a summer arts program that. Whew, we're getting a jumble of things here, but we have the dance from this Camp Rise.
Actually, this is our Attucks Theater Dance Company, and most of these students started in Camp Rise.
Really?
Yes, Camp Rise is a gateway experience for students that might not have had the experience. And then what we'll do is take them through the program, and eventually their skills will improve and increase. And if they have the passion and desire to dance further, we allow them this opportunity with the Attucks Theater Dance Company.
Oh, that is really neat. So it gives them it gives them a place to throw their energy and do something with it.
Yes.
That's positive for them and hopefully positive for those around them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the summer arts program is taking place shortly after the Camp Rise begins.
Correct. That'll take place July 15th through August the 9th.
Okay.
And we'll have a huge presentation on stage on August the 10th. All of our camps culminate with an art exhibit or presentation for children between the ages of 6 and 18.
Wow.
The programs are designed for children who have an interest in the arts. These are intensive, workshops taught by professional teaching artists that use math, science, history, writing, and health and character development with correlations to the Virginia Standards of Learning.
Well, boy, that's all rolled into one. And they have a good time.
They have a great time. And in our commitment to keep the arts accessible to anyone who has the desire and passion to learn, 98% of our students receive tuition-free scholarships.
Okay, so we're talking about a really wonderful deal, and there's still time to apply for these.
Yes, absolutely. So we hope that we hear from everybody either via email or we have a website where the application is available and you can apply online, and then we will follow up with you with the rest of the registration process.
Okay. I see that through some of the pictures they're showing for the summer arts program. We have a fellow playing guitar, a girl singing, almost looks like folk music, and some children playing playing violins and a lot of things that are going on there. And this is for, again, the age range for the summer arts program is?
The summer arts program age range is between 6 and 18, so
That's
preschool to high school.
Big range. So you have different groups of kids doing different things, or do they do them all together?
We have 3 different groups: the Children's Center for ages 6 to 11, the youth program for ages 11 to 13, and age 11 to 18 is the youth center. So they're all separated. We're in a 30,000 square foot building at the Attucks Theater. So it's a wonderful learning environment. We've got great spaces, and I invite everybody to come on down and join us this summer.
Yes, and here's one of our old ballerinas here. It's a beautiful facility too.
Very much so, yes.
It's just gorgeous. And kids that, parents, if you don't know about this, listen up, because it's really, really worth your time to look into it. I think your children will come out excited and kept busy, because this is day long and very intensive. I just makes me tired just to think about it. But,
well, we invite you to come along and take a look at what we have to offer. And not only do we have things for children, we also have opportunities for parents as well in the evening.
Oh, pray tell, you must tell us a little bit more about this.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a wonderful array of offerings from steel pan. You don't have to learn how to, you don't have to read music, but you could learn them by sound and by tone. We also have West African drumming, West African dance. We have playwriting, so if there's any parents out there that have the desire to learn more about these, we certainly hope to hear from you.
So the Attucks is really for everyone.
It is, it is, and we're very proud of our National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award that we recently received at the White House.
Yes. Wonderful, wonderful accolades for really a job well done, and something that reaches so many.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing what you can. There's so much information. I wish we could show more and tell more, but you'll just have to call those numbers we put up on the screen and find out how you can get your child enrolled and apply for scholarship. And if you're a parent, how you too can get involved.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks so much, Gail. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that about does it for this issue or edition of the Human Services Forum. We hope to see you again next time. Take care.